Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got your gameplay for the AMX-50 Surbaissé. This is a currently ranked by battle rating 7.7 heavy tank in the French Ground Forces tech tree, and is a ridiculous vehicle. This thing is just basically the oscillating turret on steroids. It is gigantic, and you would think with a vehicle this big it would weigh substantially more, and more so have a lot more armor than it does, but unfortunately it does not. This is a very heavy vehicle, doesn't have composite armor, has really thin armor in general, but of course it still has a pretty decent power to weight ratio and a decent enough top speed where this is almost kind of playing like a heavy medium tank, which is pretty damn nice. That being said, this vehicle has a 6-second reload on a 120mm cannon that can punch through over 300mm of armor with its solid shot shell, making this one of the more effective solid shot shells in War Thunder that can do enough post-pen damage after a shot to be able to destroy a lot of larger vehicles in one hit. You also have a really nice turret traverse, right now 25 degrees per second, and my crew is not expert, mind you, so this thing is all about mobility, moving around, being quick, and it does that well. It's just in a very large and relatively heavy profile. That being said, let's get into a few matches, see what this thing can do. In theory, you can pick off enemies like no one's business with this due to that crazy reload on that 120mm cannon. Let's see what we could do and have a good time. Let's get into it. So here we are with the Surbaissé, and we have our first kill, of course, against something incredibly small, the ASU-85. Good thing, actually, I got him first, because I don't know if you guys know about the ASUs, but those things actually have pretty nasty cannons. So we have an enemy, what was that, an M47? That's something. Oh, no, what am I thinking? I thought that he was looking this way and not the other way, and you know what? Okay. Panther 2, really? Okay. So actually, my misidentification of that vehicle was entirely the fact that I thought that he was looking a different way, and thus I interpreted the shape of the turret to be different than it ended up being. A visual trick. But what isn't a visual trick is that we have... Ooh, that is a big nasty boy. Not a vehicle I'd want to fight. Do they have... Okay. Yep, that's an MG weak spot. Can I hit that? Yes, I can! Ooh, buddy! And we have ourselves a target destroyed. Don't know how. Maybe he left the game. I'm not entirely sure. Possibly Jade out. Doesn't really matter the method. Fact is, I got the kill. We are now 3-0. Not too bad. Now, the thing with this vehicle is ultimately that it will function like a medium tank. You know, I mean, it's such a weird vehicle because it's huge. And it just looks so strange, right? Like, this is the oscillating turret taken to its extreme. And so, also, actually, you can kind of get, like, very light, like, if you're kind of going between, like, 5 and 10-ish kilometers per hour, you can get, like, a very light kind of stabilizing effect on this thing with a gun. Oscillating turrets, at least in my experience, maybe I'm completely wrong on this, and I very well might be, but they are fairly stable for on-the-go firing. But as I think I was saying, this vehicle is one of those vehicles that is just... It looks like a heavy tank, smells like a heavy tank, and it's listed as a heavy tank, but it doesn't really play like a heavy tank. Okay, we have ourselves a Soviet vehicle. Very nice. Got kind of lucky there. One of the big problems with this vehicle in particular, especially when it comes to the turret armor, beyond, like, well, really anything on the turret, it's not very well armored, unfortunately. So any shot to the turret is very possibly going to be a death sentence to me. Okay. I knew it. I knew it. Normally, I don't really like going around enemy bases like this. However, this is one of those rare instances where I'm like, you know what? There's an enemy right there. I can kind of smell him. Okay, there we go. And he's gonna miss. Doesn't really matter. I don't feel like doing this. That'll just have to count as an assist. But not too bad thus far. I mean, like, this vehicle, its two greatest strengths are going to be its mobility and its fire rate. Like, well, I guess if you want to think about it as well, the cannon. So this is a solid shot cannon, basically, right? Like, you can fire, I think you can fire HE from it, but it's just not really the best HE. And so the solid shot itself goes through over 300 millimeters of armor, which at this BR is pretty decent, you know? And typically when you're thinking a solid shot, you're thinking to yourself, well, you know, it probably doesn't have the best post-pen damage, probably not the best this, that, and the other. But this thing is over 1,000 meters per second. It's actually rounded up to 1,100 meters per second of muzzle velocity, which is fantastic, especially for a full-size solid shot. And it actually has some pretty damn nasty post-pen damage. I mean, overall, this is a very, very good shell for what it is. Among solid shot, full-size AP shells, it's pretty damn good. Uh-oh. And there we go. So, if I haven't already made it pretty much apparent to you guys, probably the best way, I think I've already said this, right? Like, I really, my memory isn't all so great. So if I ever forget something, you know, don't look at me like I'm a crazy person or just trying to say the same thing over and over, because it's just not a great memory. But this vehicle, despite the fact that it's huge and weird and heavy and all that, it's got the mobility and the engine, like the overall engine power, top speed and all that, to play like a medium tank. And the reload as well, 6-second reload. It's just fantastic in that role. It's just a little bit tall, but otherwise really nice as a medium, in a way. Outside of the fact that it's really not a medium, it's a heavy. You know what I mean. Okay, we have a Tiger. And we have ourselves a nice breach right through the front. And hopefully he hasn't left, but it doesn't really matter if he has or not. I'm not going to be able to see him. But we did disable pretty much all of his main functions there. We have another one, easy kill. Not too bad. Like I said, the cannon on this is ridiculously powerful. At least if you, in all the best ways, at least if you are looking from the French perspective. This thing is just wonderful. I mean, like, ridiculous. As far as solid shots are concerned, this is among the best of them. Want to go for this guy first. I'm going to go for this guy in the back. I should be able to get myself a nice solid shot right there. Didn't get the kill. Should have went for the turret, actually, or the cannon, rather. But I'll do that now. Take that out. Thankfully, I have the benefit of having a very nice reload. And we can get ourselves the driver, engine port. I'm going to spare this guy, actually, from getting this. And we have ourselves the kill. Not too bad. That's one of the great things with this vehicle, is that you can actively, or pretty actively, just kind of, like, change up your shots pretty damn often. I got killed? Damn! But, you know, I'll keep this in. Not too bad. But this just kind of goes to show, if you aim right in the back of that where that auto-loaded ammo is, you are wiped out. As one might imagine, one of the many talents of this vehicle is the fact that it can be quite the competent sniper. Look at that. Very nice. You know, the fact that it can move, it has, you know, a really nice cannon. Also, look at this. Look at this commander sight. Pretty damn nice. I mean, of course, we don't have any sort of thermals or night vision or anything like that. Whatever. But, hey, you know what? This thing is pretty good, and it's got a rangefinder if you need it. But for the most part, you're not really going to be fighting at those distances where, at least in my opinion, it's going to be necessary all too much. Ooh, we have ourselves a target. And a kill. Very nice. I love hearing enemy engine sounds from a distance. It always just sounds so nice. I think we might have an enemy. Oh, yes, we do. Somewhere back here. This is a medium tank that without doubt knows where I am, and we're gonna die. Maybe I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I thought that was gonna be a medium tank that without a doubt knew where I was, and I screwed up the first shot, but I'm dead anyways. I feel like we're gonna have an enemy coming right from over here. Or right there. Got ourselves the loader, turret drive, all that jive. Now we're going to go for that cannon. We got nothing, but it doesn't really matter all too much. We have this guy here. We can get ourselves a critical hit. Going to want to go for that cannon now. Take that out, and now we can go for the cannon back there. I don't believe that he's going to survive for all too long. Oh, that's dead. So now we can go for the kill. And I love autoloaders. So we can hopefully go for the turret ring and get that kill. Woo! Buddy, that's what you want to do. So if you guys don't know, I do have like a weak spot guide. But you're pretty much like, when you're in a situation, especially with a really fast reload, prioritize, if you have like 2 enemies, right? Prioritize the enemies that have a slow... What is going on here? Really? Really? Come on, man. Really? Anyways, prioritize the vehicle. So, like, as you saw there, what was that? The T30 or T32? It's got a slower reload than the T26E5, I think it was. That was in front of it. So because it has a slower reload, you're going to want to prioritize the tank in front, right? So he had a faster reload. Ooh, I didn't realize I had a crew member. He had a faster reload, so you want to take his cannon out. Then, of course, I was going to go for the one on the back, but somebody had already done the job for me. They took that cannon out, and then I kind of picked them off individually from there. Largely, again, because I know I have a much faster reload than they do. Okay, I can see an enemy way off there in the distance. I'm going to back up until I can snipe him from in here. If I can help it. Okay, let's see if I can hit him. Oh! There we go. That's how you do it. Combine binoculars, binocs, binocs, whatever you want to call them, with your gun. And by the way, guys, if you guys don't know, you can actually aim with your binoculars. So right here, I'm looking this way. I can click the fire button, and it turns my cannon this way. Fun fact. And that's exactly how I get those shots done. Ooh. Ooh. I love this vehicle so much sometimes, man. So much. Like, I can understand why French vehicles are being pushed up so high in BRs. And it largely has to do with the dank autoloader. And, of course, the ridiculous power. So I can get two shots in before he even realizes that I'm here. Now he doesn't have a cannon barrel. That was not on purpose, by the way. I was trying to shoot a little bit lower, but none too shibby-dibby-dabby nonetheless. He was probably just aiming right when I fired that. Unfortunate for him. Now, probably the biggest problem with this vehicle is going to be its well, aside from its ridiculously poor armor, is going to be the fact that it has a pretty mediocre depression angle. I think it's like -6, right? Oh, okay, actually, no, that's not bad at all. I thought it would be much worse. I don't know how I survived that. Genuinely, I don't. Oh, you know what? That was not too bad. I guess that was lucky placement on my part. Now, the thing with this vehicle is that there are some spots on the turret. So, like, pretty much anything up here is going to be pretty fair game. But there are some spots where it's, like, double armor, almost. It's a really weird vehicle in that regard. And it makes it very difficult on occasion to kind of plan to, like, where to shoot to actually kill this thing. Okay, we have something that I'm just gonna go take out like this, because I can. Feel bad for the Bosvark guy, but you know what? Such is life, my man. Such is life. Also, I really don't want to be hanging out down here, but there was, like, as you can see, there was a firefight down there. And so I figured it'd be quicker just to ford this crossing rather than turn around and start going all the way over there. Then I ended up with 3 kills because of it. Not too bad. And I'm not even all that close to their base. Oh, we have an enemy vehicle. And I got the assist. I can't really complain about that. So that said, thanks so much for watching. If you don't mind, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Take this vehicle out if you have it before they increase its BR a bit more. That said, thanks again. I'll see you all on the other side. Not too shabby.